car. This is the F2001, the car that won the championship a couple of years ago. Since then, it's been kept under lock and key at the Ferrari factory, but soon it'll reside in Frank's garage next to his F40, Carrera GT and DB9. We've been given unprecedented access to every bit of the deal as Ferrari welcome Frank to the family. The star treatment begins here, in the Holy of Holies, Enzo Ferrari's old office, left untouched since the day he died. Join us in a moment to find out exactly how to buy an F1 car. We're exclusively following Frank Mountain buying an ex-Schumacher F1 car. So where did it all start?
I came over last October for the 612 launch, talking to all the people from Ferrari, and obviously they know I like cars and I've got a number of Ferraris, and said to me, will I be interested in an F1 car? So I said, well, he's the Pope Catholic, of course I would be. Various discussions took place. I came over, I think, late November to have a meeting. I think it was probably an interview more than anything, to see if I was up for the job. From then on, it's just sort of grown to being here today to sign up for the car. Everyone wants to know how much this is all going to cost, or how much the car costs. It's not as much as you think. First of all, you negotiate, and then you agree on a figure. Suffice to say, it's a fair figure that we've agreed on.
I can't tell you that fair figure, but included in the deal is a starter, tyre warmers to get the rubber nice and grippy, jack stands for playing at pit stops, and a spare set of the Featherlight wheels. They've told him to run it on unleaded straight from the sponsor's pumps. Schumacher used more than one car during the 2001 season, and Frank's is the pick of the crop. Chassis 211 won in Monaco, Hungary, and was the car he clinched the championship with.
Now we got here today and it's all about to start. The butterflies are starting to take over. There's two sides of my head thinking, hey, what have I done here? But the second side is, I'm just making a dream come true.
The dream begins in the back streets of Barrichello, Ferrari's hometown. There's always some sort of arm-waving antics going on, and cars worth millions are just casually parked at the roadside. Buy an F1 car and your day begins with a nose around an amazing set of racing cars, including a secret one-off prototype that happens to be for sale as well. You'd have no idea there was a multi-million-pound collection tucked away in such a humble setting.
If you went to McLaren, you'd come to a nice, smart glass building, state-of-the-art, everything would be pristine. You come to Ferrari, we truck up outside, there's a garage with a red door, washing hanging up, and a flat next door. You don't even know this exists, and you walk in, and here they are. There's every piece of history you could think of from a Ferrari, and the Ferraris are about passion, and that's what they get here. It's full of passion.
Frank is the ultimate Ferrari fan and wasn't in a hurry to get to his new car, even savouring the jumble of spare parts.
It's just like how I'd like to be my own garage. It's got bits of Formula 1 cars. You've got Niki Lauda's here from the 70s. You've got Mansell's car. You've got nose cones from other Schumacher's car. Then the best bit, you've got a 360 door, a 360 boot. And over there, if you can get over there, there's just a pile of seats. A complete and utter mess. It's just bits and pieces all over the place.
Then suddenly, amongst the jumble, the magical meeting took place.
The first sight of it?
The first sight, yeah.
The first sight of his F1 car, if you look up there, look. It's his F1 car.
It's my car. It's everyone's dream, isn't it? Everyone likes cars. If you could wake up one day and come to a place like this. On there, Prost, Mansell's, Berger's, Schumacher's, and now there's my car.
Join us later when Chief Engineer Andrea Gaglietti used to look after Rubens Barrichello and Eddie Irvine. The idea is you get F1 expertise to personally set up your car. The 2001 chassis handles particularly well and is ideal for the novice, but the seat and controls need to be fine-tuned to your tastes after a little bit of business.
The money's been sent to you now by the bank.
Ah, okay.
Okay, I've got a cheque as well, but I thought I'd just send you the money by TT. Okay?
The first seat Frank tried belonged to Rubens Barrichello, but that was too wide because...
Barrichello has a big arm.
You heard it here first. So then he tried Michael Schumacher's seat. You can tell it's his because it's lined with gold, like a throne. Except this was too small.
Problem. Done? No.
Which must mean Michael has a tiny bottom. The solution was for Frank to have his own personal seat moulding. It's quick setting, so you need to make sure you're sitting comfortably.
There are about 100 different positions I can wriggle in at the moment, and there's bolts and bumps and everything else that dig into certain parts of your backside, and I'm just trying to find where they don't dig in. And I'm squirming around, but if I don't get it right, they're about to put the mix in. And once the mix, it's one shot.
Bene a modo e distribuito, vai, non tutto da un lato. Vai.
The mixture expands like foam. You need to ensure it oozes into every nook and cranny to create a perfect mould. Everything in Formula One has this bespoke specialist feel. You even need an expert to adjust the wing mirrors.
Molto bene now.
Indeed, in order to run the car at various demonstration races around the world, Frank is having to send his own mechanics out to the factory for training. However, mastering the complex steering wheel and the controls is down to Frank himself. There are nearly 40 buttons managing different aspects of the car's systems. The 3,000-page manual comes with a crib sheet, but we asked the man who used to brief Irvine to brief you.
I fit here, this is the Formula One steering wheel of a 2001 car, which will be driven by Frank Mountain. It can adjust the traction control setting, it can adjust the differential electronic system by these two rotary switches, it can change engine braking, high speed, low speed, manage the clutch using these two levers, and it can upshift and downshift by this lever here.
On top of that, there's buttons for neutral, the launch control, and things like the fuel mix, rev limiter, and various sensors around the car. Modern drivers prefer to solve small problems via the steering wheel rather than a pit stop, and the best can use it all with barely a glance. But Schumacher demanded even more for his later cars. A mind-boggling system of selectors lets him fine-tune the settings for one corner while he's driving through another. It's vastly different to the wheel from just a decade ago.
We are talking about 10 years of technology. It looks like 100.
The most important control of all is still the throttle, though, and naturally, it isn't straightforward.
If you look down at the pedals, Schumacher runs what they call a long accelerator pedal. The reason why he does that is he can balance the car better. So the power comes in gradually and on a longer pedal. Barrichello's completely opposite. His throttle actually starts about here, then it comes in massively. So he has a very fine line before the power band really comes in. Two different driving techniques. Didn't know anything about that. No one, I think, understands it when you're looking at these cars going around until you actually sit in one. I'm sticking with the Schumacher one because I think that's going to suit my driving style a lot better.
But before he gets to drive it tomorrow, he needs to sign the contract. And you don't do big bucks deals without first checking the small print.
It's just, they'll do a buyback on the car within 30 days. I'm not allowed to sell it to anyone unless I offer it to them first, but I have to receive their consent, not reasonably withheld. I have to give them use of the car for F1 publicity and promotional purposes, basically at their cost. I'm not allowed to change the livery of the car, and of course it's a law applying to this contract is Italian law. It means if you have a problem, it's a bigger problem.
That didn't put Frank off, and in the finest tradition of Italian business, it was signature, champagne...
Congratulations, welcome to the family, yeah?
Thank you very much.
...and dinner. And what a place to have your first drive of an F1 car. The emotive Fiorano, Ferrari's private test track, stamping ground of legendary road car test driver Dario Bonuzzi and his F1 counterpart, Luca Badoer.
Hi, Fischia, and welcome to Fiorano.
A lap in a challenge to Dali takes 1 minute 27, and Enzo 1:25. But an F1 car does it in just 55 seconds.
The most important thing is remember to brake on the end of the stride, because the speed is very high, and you know, Formula One is not a real car. I think is a airplane with the wheels.
Badoer's presence increased the pressure. How did Frank feel about such distinguished company?
I hope he doesn't watch, because I don't think... I'm not intending to be quicker than him.
We'll see about that. It was time to drive. As he got in, one of the mechanics told him just to floor it. Let the car do the work, was the advice. But imagine the pressure. You've been building up to this moment all your life. Perhaps inevitably, he stalled. Frank teetered round at first, but he wasn't doing too badly given that 14 months ago he didn't even have a race licence. Although Badoer left satisfied his test driving job was safe, Frank's times came down and he was thrilled to achieve a 1 minute 30, equal to the lap record of a Ferrari 360.
I know how Neil Armstrong felt when he landed on the moon. I think this must be the closest to it. But surprisingly, not as difficult to drive as you think, but just that when you put your foot down, the speed is just, wow, wait, does it go? And the noise, my ears are just ringing from the noise behind me. I've just done what they all do and we watch on a box every couple of weeks during the summer. And I tell you, if you get one chance in life, you've got to have a go in one of these.
The excitement continued. After downloading data from the car, they discussed where he could go quicker on his second drive.
I'm having to brake far too early.
Now, an F1 engine is a 200 mile an hour, 18,000 RPM, highly strung thoroughbred.
No gears.
And the moment it detects something untoward, will shut down into a safe mode to protect itself. But this hiccup didn't spoil Frank's day. The repair would take 2 hours, time Frank didn't have, as Ferrari's jet was waiting to take him to his other new toy, a Le Mans.